Hi and welcome to Grapple. I'm Aaron Hudson and I'm going to give you a quick overview as to what Grapple is and how it can help you plan your projects by giving you a bit of a quick demonstration. So Grapple is a new app that we've developed, and it's really designed to help non-project managers be able to understand how to plan a project that they're trying to undertake without having to understand all of the background jargon and all the rules and sort of experience that professional project managers have in their jobs. So I thought I'd do this by giving you a bit of an example, and you could use any kind of project for this example, but I've just decided to use a basic renovation project. So here we are on Grapple's project details screen, and you can see we've got a project title. Obviously, just to save time, I've completed a lot of the information here. And it's a renovation project, and we have our project manager here as being me, using a fake email address, of course. And look, from a category point of view, this is a construction project, and it's really important for a project to understand the business need and why you're doing stuff. So for this, it's actually to try and get some capital growth in our investment property. I've got a basic start and finish date here, so I'm giving myself about 2.5 to 3 months to do this renovation project, over Christmas no less. And again, a bit more detail now. What we're really trying to do is create some additional value because I've decided to sell the property. So all this information is giving the background to why you're doing your project, so that when you share the information, everyone's got the right context and they understand where you're coming from. The statement of work is basically the high-level overview of what you need to do, and you can write anything here about what the project is. But for us, this is about renovations, and we're going to do some work to the back deck. Maybe we'll upgrade the light fittings and do some bathroom work and landscaping. So that's the basic of the project. It's kind of what we're calling the project details. And you click here to the project canvas, which allows you to now go into a bit more detail about the project. So first of all, we'll start with the deliverables. And as we saw from the previous page, we're going to talk about doing these renovations. So these are the main things that we need to deliver as part of this project. The back deck, the staircase, we need to paint the back deck, we need to do both bathrooms. What we had on the previous one that we forgot about was install upgrade light fittings. So here we're going to put upgrade light fittings as one of the new projects, and you hit enter and there you go. So our key milestones here, we've got external structures, and we're going to give ourselves a couple of weeks. It might be a bit unrealistic, but I'm sure that you can understand the concept here. And then we're going to have the bathrooms complete, because my plumber's going to come in. I want them to do one job and have one milestone to work to. And I'm going to have the external grounds all being done by one person as well. Now I need to add a milestone in for my light fittings. So I'm going to call this electrical, if I can spell, fittings complete. And let's just go in here and pick ourselves a date with the picker, 28th of February. So that's the last day of my project. Now I've taken an estimate here for the project that this is going to be about $100,000, but I could be out by a lot there. So I've given myself a bit of tolerance and said maybe I've got a 10% accuracy there, and just in case I've got myself a $5,000 contingency in case I blow over. And it's just a high-level estimate at the moment, and you'll see how that works later. The next thing you think about when managing a project, or you should be thinking about, is what do you have to buy? What are the materials or the resources you need to buy? So here I've got all these things for the deck that I have to think about. And this will actually, when you start to do this, you might start to go back to the budget and think, okay, I can do a detailed estimate of the hardwood decking. I can go to my hardware store and price that up, along with the rails and the paint and the bathrooms and so on. And then I can come back to my $100,000 estimate and refine that estimate. So the idea is this is a work in progress. I also have to add lights. And wiring to this process. And if you wanted to, you could also even put electrician, plumber, and builder into your list of trades. So you've got resources and labour in there. Now, quality is something that a lot of people don't think about, but you just said you wanted to build a deck. This is where you start to think about what that deck's going to be like, what sort of quality you're going to have around it. So for what I've said here is it's a teak deck, because my existing one's teak, and I want it to match the colour. I want my bathroom to have a rainfall shower head that has water-saving features. And I've got more information here. So you can see that this is where you start to explain in a bit more detail about what the things you want to do look like. And you can put as many of these as you like here. I've just stopped at the first ones just to give the example. And the other thing that people need to think about at the start when planning a project is risk. So we want to build a fence, but of course the neighbour is one of the stakeholders in this. So the neighbours need to think about that. The local council may have to improve the deck extension. And I've also got risks that I might not be able to get the tiles. So the other part of Grapple that's really important is we've got stakeholders. So here I've got a few people involved in this process. I've taken the assumption that I'm actually not owning this house. I'm doing the work on behalf of somebody. So we've got Mary, the other client, and Jane, the client, who are both approvers for the project. They're going to be the ones that sign off on the checks. I've got Sam, the painter, John, the builder, and Jill, the organiser. And Jill's my team member, and John and Sam are my subject matter experts. So these are all people who are really important. The other person I need to include in here when I invite a stakeholder in is going to be, let's call him David, the electrician. And we can put an email address in there and a phone number and so on into that as well. So then what we do is we can look at all of this as what we call a project charter, which is basically a plan on a page. So now you can see we've got the project information all coming together in a nice simple format, and it's a logical way of presenting it. We talked before about the budget, and we said that maybe we're not too sure about the budget. What Grapple does is just suggest to you that you think you need $100,000, but based on your level of confidence, you might actually have to hold about $15,000 in risk contingency in your back pocket there. And if you're not comfortable about that, you need to go back and get better estimates and go and think about these deliverables and what you need to do, and price it up accordingly. So we have key milestone payments, we have our stakeholders, and all of these things come together. And then what Grapple does is it asks, you can send this to the stakeholders. So our two people that we identified there, which were Jane the client and Mary the other client, would then be notified automatically by Grapple, by email, and they'd be sent a copy of this charter that they can approve. And as soon as they've done that, the project then, as it's approved, becomes a live project that you can track and maintain and update. Look, that's about it. The final thing is then once you've done that, the dashboard's then updated. And the dashboard allows just a high-level overview of some of this information, including the status of the approval that you've got, any key tasks you've got up here, and key risks. And you can also add any attachments, like maybe quotes from the builders or receipts and quotes that you get from the building supply stores. And so you can keep all of your project information just in one place, nice, neat and tidy, really simple to follow. I hope that's been a good introduction to Grapple, and I really hope you enjoy using it. Thanks very much.